Hello students, welcome to today's class session. Today we will learn about Gauss theorem. So before we stating Gauss theorem, first of all we need to know what is electric flux. Suppose there is an area S. We all know that area is vector quantity, so it must have direction. So if we consider here a small elementary area ds, so the direction will be perpendicular to the surface. The direction is given by the perpendicular to the surface. So electric flux is stated as the total number of electric lines of force passing through a surface normally. That means total number of electric lines of force that passes normally through the surface. If we consider here, suppose these are the electric lines of force represented by E vector. So you can see there makes an angle between ds and E vector. If we consider it as theta, so number of field passing through the surface perpendicular to it. So how we can make it perpendicular? The electric flux is denoted by phi, symbol phi is equals to, it is equals to E multiplied by ds cos theta, because E can be, the component of E is E cos theta in the direction of ds. So we can write it as ds cos theta. So as a whole, as E vector and ds are vector, so what we can write, E dot ds. So phi is equals to E dot ds. There is the idea of electric flux. The Gauss theorem states that, here you can see the total number of flux through a closed surface enclosing a charge, that means closed surface must enclosing a charge, is equals to 1 by epsilon naught times the magnitude of charge enclosed. Suppose we can mathematically write it as total flux is represented by phi is equals to q by epsilon naught, or this phi, as we already know that, we can write it as E dot s or E dot ds vector. If we write it ds, we should write integration over the whole surface. So phi is equals to q by epsilon naught. This q is total charge enclosed, q enclosed by epsilon naught. That means, suppose if we consider a surface, and that surface is known as Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. Suppose a charge is inside the plus q is inside the Gaussian surface that we have considered. We can consider a Gaussian surface as any symmetrical structure, okay, any symmetrical surface. Here we have considered it as spherical Gaussian surface. So what we can write here, phi, the total flux through the surface, will be equals to total charge enclosed in this whole surface divided by epsilon naught. This has been stated by Gauss. So now we will prove this Gauss theorem. Proof. Let us consider a charge here. plus q. Okay. Now we consider a Gaussian surface like this. Suppose a point P on the Gaussian surface, and the surface which we have considered is spherically symmetric, and the radius be r. Here r cap represents unit vector. R cap is the unit vector in the direction OP. In the direction OP. Now, as we all know that plus Q charge will always emit electric field, and the direction of electric field will be in this direction through P. Now, if we consider a small area here, ds, so the direction of ds will be in this direction. Okay. Now we can write the magnitude of electric field at point P due to plus Q charge here. So we can write it 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square r cap. Suppose it is equation 1. Now ds, now the electric flux through that surface, elementary surface, d phi is equals to E dot ds. So we can replace it by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square r cap dot ds. So you can see the r cap and ds vector are in same direction. So d phi is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. We can write it as r. Okay, the magnitude, it is unit vector, so we can write 1 ds cos 0 degree, as the angle between r and ds is 0 degree. So as a whole we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square ds. Now the net or the total flux phi is equals to integration over d phi equals to integration over 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square ds. So the sign integration will be on only ds. So what will happen if we integrate over the small elementary portion? So as a whole it will be the total sphere. So it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square multiplied by the surface area of sphere, it is 4 pi r square. So it will be as a Q by epsilon naught. That means phi is equals to Q by epsilon naught, which is the Gauss theorem. So in this way we can prove Gauss theorem for a point charge. And here one thing is that the surface which we have considered, it is termed as Gaussian surface. Gaussian AN, okay. Gaussian surface. Okay. So hope student you have understood the part as well as the proof of Gauss theorem. If there is any further queries or confusion, you can comment below.